Message today is character and leadership. You know, character is the cornerstone of leadership because it gives you two indispensable things. Number one, it gives you inner strength to do the right thing when it matters most. Number two, it gives you external credibility when people see you consistently acting with character. Now, the word character is a Greek word, actually, that means to stamp or engrave. That means that over time, through your choices that you make, the actions you engage in, you stamp your life. You stamp your heart with a pattern of belief and behavior that becomes your character. Now, let me share 4 essential character attributes that all of us need to build into our lives as we lead our teams or our organizations. Those 4 attributes are integrity, energy, humility, and courage. Integrity is consistency between what you say and what you do. You know, the culture of your organization is shaped by your character. Your organization or team cannot become what you are not. If it's not happening in you, it's not going to happen through you. Integrity means do what you say and do it well. Number 2 attribute is energy. As the leader, you set the tone for engagement and energy in your organization or on your team. The folks on your team will be no more engaged than you are. Great leaders create productive energy and they focus that energy on what matters most. They love the work they do, they love the team they work with, and you can feel it. They're energy givers, not energy takers. Number 3 attribute is humility. Now, humility doesn't mean weakness or meekness. It means strength under control. It's about serving others, not self. It's about recognizing and utilizing your strengths and being honest about your weaknesses. It means being open to being held accountable and receiving feedback. It means recognizing that you've got blind spots, and sometimes you're even blind to your blind spots. And it means having a noticer and a truth teller in your life. And the 4th and final attribute is courage. You know, leadership's most important, what is most difficult. And courage is literally Latin for strength of heart. And so courage is the strength to do what matters, to do the hard things, to say yes to the hard things of leadership. It's discipline at defining moments. So be a great leader. Build that character cornerstone into your life. Act with integrity, energy, humility, and courage.
A person has character, we feel secure with them. It's a solid word. Now, sometimes people come to me and they say, well, it's important to have good character to be a good leader, and that's very true. It's the core of leadership. But I've said that character doesn't make a leader. I know people who have good character, but they're not really a good leader. But if you lack character and if you lead, it will destroy you as a leader. It's just a matter of time that it'll bring you down. And so when we teach values in countries around the world, we teach the value of character because what I say and what I do, when it is congruent, it works together, just solidifies who I am. Nothing is worse than trying to follow somebody who lacks character and promise things that they don't deliver and say things that they don't mean. That doesn't get us anywhere. When people look at a leader to follow him or her, they basically ask 3 questions. Do they like me? Can they help me? And can I trust them? Well, can I trust them is a character issue. It's the foundation of leadership, and character is the core of leadership. Now, here's the good news about character. It's a choice. We're not born with it. We decide to have it. So I want to encourage you today. Do the right thing. The right thing always pays off in the long run. Choose character. It may be a little slower than the people that just kind of scheme and shortcut by, but trust me, you'll meet them on the side of the road sooner or later as you keep going. Character allows us to stay in the game of life for a long time.
I want to ask you a question. On the screen, there's a photograph. And I want to ask you a question about this photograph. Those who are watching this from home or listening to a CD, on the screen in this room is a massive photograph of a bodybuilder. His physique is incredible. I think we are all jealous of him. I'm talking about the men. We would love to look like that. This is a powerful photograph of human strength. I'm going to show you another man, and I want to ask you a question. Here's another man. Now, both of these are men. The second photograph is another man who looks like he weighs about 110 pounds. The previous photograph is a man who looks like he weighs about 280 pounds. The first man has biceps and triceps, and his muscles are carved and chiseled. The second man looks like he came from the Bahamas. The question I have between these two men is a simple question. Which one of these men exhibits strength? Which one of these men are the most powerful? Is it man number one or is it man number two? Now, before you answer, you must study the men carefully. This man, with all the muscular physique, on the surface, he exhibits power, strength, even discipline. But the second man doesn't look too impressive. He seemed to be suffering from malnutrition. Probably is not as disciplined as he should have been. And you look at these photographs physically, and you have two responses to these men. One of them impresses you, the other one depresses you. One of them make you look at him and be attracted to him. The second one you wish you never met. Now, which one of these men are the most powerful? I want to take you through a quick response of that question. I want to take you through an exercise that I call character versus ability. One of these men have power. The other one doesn't seem to have power. Here's the question. I'm going to tell you who these two men are. The first man, his name is Sam. He's a very powerful guy. That first picture you saw, his name is Sam. The second guy, his name is Joe. These are my friends. Sam and Joe are both my friends. Let's talk about Sam and Joe. We got two men, Joseph and Samson. We got a problem here. Samson has strength of body. And many leaders remind me of Samson. They speak well, they dress well, they are articulate, they resonate with charisma, they look like they are powerful, they wear power ties, or she carries a power briefcase. They walk around with their G4 telephones and their power notebooks. Very impressive people. Strength of body. But Joseph is different. He has strength of character. Character you cannot see physically and visually. Which one of these men is stronger? Samson impresses men. When you look at Samson, all of us are impressed. But Joseph impressed God. Power impresses men. Character impresses God. You have to decide who's your priority, men or God. Whoever is your priority will determine your life. Samson and Joseph are both men. Joseph died in a position of power. Samson lost his position and his vision and power. I guess the bottom line is, write this down, character protects power and vision. No matter how much power you have, how much vision you claim to possess, if you do not have character, your power and your vision are at risk. This is why character is more important than power. It's more important than vision. It's more important than skill. It is even more important than influence, because character is the source of influence. So let's take a look at these two men. Here's a man who is strong in body but weak in character. He falls to the mercy of his sensual flesh desires. Samson. Here's a man who shows strength of character. He runs away from the lust and the sensual passions that you battle with in this room every day. One man, he ends his life looking big but blind. Even though his last act was great, we only remember his bald head. I guess even coming back is tough. This man, Joseph, shows that character is stronger than power. What did I say? I want you to remember this as a leader. Never be impressed with people's power. You want to study their character. Never trust a person with power. Only trust people with character. Never be impressed with people who have power. Seek for those who have the silent strength of character. Joseph gets my vote. So the conclusion of the matter is simple. Write it down. The foundation of leadership is character. This statement sounds very simple, but it's not. I didn't say that the roof of leadership is character. I didn't say the windows and the walls of your life is character. I said the foundation of your leadership is character. So, I want to remind you of what character is. If you may, you can record it. Character is a commitment to a set of values without compromise. When Joseph was tested, he had to decide whether he valued lust and pleasure more than prison. Joseph chose prison. Pleasure and prison both begin with P. You got to decide which P is more important in your life. Which P is your priority? Pleasure? Or are you going to pursue this simple, powerful essence of principle? Number two, character is dedication to a set of standards without wavering. Samson didn't survive. His standards collapsed under the weight of lust. He lost the most important thing a human being can possess, and that is a character that has moral force. Number 3, character is self-imposed discipline in keeping with moral convictions. Notice the term self-imposed. Nobody made Joseph run, and nobody made Samson stay. It's always up to you. You are the creator of your own character. Discipline is self-imposition. I am coming to the conclusion very slowly in my years of dealing with leadership issues that conviction is really the key to leadership. It's conviction. I never thought I would come to such a simple conclusion, because you can actually discover your purpose and still not be convicted enough to pursue it. It is conviction that sends people to prison. It is conviction that makes people run from pleasure. It is conviction that creates character. Number 4, character is a constant effort to integrate your words, your deeds, and your actions. I showed you in the evening session an illustrator of the 2 men who were one man, and how the process is to bring those 2 men together until there's only one man. You want to integrate your words. When you say something, you actually do it. And you do it because you are it. And number 5, character is the willingness to sacrifice your pleasure for the sake of principles. So character is basically being one with yourself.